There is something extraordinary about the Aquarius spirit. It is not a personality trait or a behavioral pattern. It is an energy signature. It is something the soul remembers long before the mind learns language. Aquarius is not here to fit into the world. Aquarius is here to stretch it, expand it, and question it. People often say Aquarius is different, but the truth is deeper. Aquarius is not different. Aquarius is ahead. You are a future blueprint walking inside a present timeline. You are the idea the world has not caught up to yet. Imagine a storm, not a destructive one, but a cleansing one. The kind that clears the air and breaks static patterns. The kind that arrives with lightning, revelation, and clarity. That is the essence of Aquarius. Something electric, something untouchable, something that wakes people up, even if they resist, even if they pretend they do not feel it. Your presence shifts environments because you carry the vibration of Uranus, the planet of awakening and radical change. You are a reminder that life can be rewritten, that rules can be questioned, that evolution is possible. Aquarius energy is paradoxical. You are deeply connected to humanity, yet you often feel separate from people. You care about the collective, the world, the global consciousness. But small talk, shallow interactions, or emotional manipulation feel suffocating. You value truth over approval, integrity over attachment, meaning over comfort. Many do not understand this because they judge connection by closeness and emotion by display. While you understand connection through alignment and emotion through authenticity. Some may say Aquarius is detached, but that word does not capture the truth. You do not detach because you feel nothing. You detach because you feel everything. Your spirit observes before it engages. Your intuition scans before it trusts. Your heart chooses carefully, intentionally, with wisdom that others mistake for distance. You do not rush to belong because you already belong to something larger, something cosmic, something spiritual, something ancestral. There is a sacred symbolism in the water bearer. Aquarius appears to carry water, yet what is being poured is not literal water. It is knowledge. It is truth. It is the breaking of illusion. You pour what others are afraid to receive. New ideas, new paths, new perspectives. You speak what many think silently but never dare to say out loud. That courage, even when quiet, creates disruption, and disruption is rarely welcomed by those who fear change. When an Aquarius walks into a room, there is an undeniable shift. Some feel curiosity, some feel admiration, some feel threatened, because Aquarius energy vibrates at a level that demands authenticity. Masks fall, pretenses dissolve, games become visible. Aquarius does not need to expose anyone. Their energy does it automatically, without intention, without effort, without force, just presence. You were never meant to follow the path. You were meant to design one. You were never meant to repeat what already exists. You were meant to challenge it, evolve it, and transform it. And even when people resist you, even when they misunderstand you, there is always a part of them that knows you are speaking from a higher place, a wiser place, a place where fear does not govern choices. Aquarius is the reminder that the world is always changing, that nothing stays the same forever, that progress is not only possible, it is necessary. And you did not come here to observe that change. You came here to embody it. There is a truth about Aquarius that many will never admit out loud. You see people, not in the simple way, not by their clothes or their words or the surface they show to the world. You see straight into the hidden corners. You scan the energy, the intention, the emotion that is not spoken. This ability makes others feel as if you can read their diary without ever opening a page. They sense that you know more than you are saying, and that can be both fascinating and terrifying to them. While others get distracted by appearances, you pick up on patterns. You notice inconsistencies. You hear the silence between the sentences. You watch how someone treats a stranger when nobody is watching. You are always connecting dots. even when you pretend you are not. People often underestimate how observant you are because you do not react immediately. You wait, you gather, you understand. That patience is your power. Some individuals wear masks every single day. They have practiced their performance so well that most people believe it. But Aquarius notices the glitch in the performance. You notice when someone laughs without feeling joy. You notice when someone pretends to be confident but their energy leaks insecurity. You notice manipulation before others can even spell the word manipulation. You notice the cracks in the illusion and the shadows behind the smile. This depth of perception can make others feel exposed, vulnerable, almost defenseless. You do not try to make them feel this way, but when someone is used to hiding, the truth feels like a spotlight. They may start to act strangely around you, not because you are doing anything wrong, but because you make them aware of what they are trying to avoid inside themselves. You become the mirror they never asked for but desperately need. People often confuse your honesty with judgment, but you are not here to judge. You are here to understand. You are here to help humanity evolve. Your insight is a gift of spirit, not a weapon of ego. You want to know the real person beneath the layers. You want to connect with authenticity, not performance. And when someone tries to manipulate or mislead, you do not fall for the trick. You simply step back with grace, refusing to give your energy to deception. This ability can be extremely intimidating to those who rely on hiding their intentions. They feel as if their secrets are not safe around you. They worry you can see straight through to their weaknesses. They worry you know their lies even before they speak them. And on some level, they are right. Aquarius senses what is true and what is false. Even if they say nothing, their inner wisdom is already sorting the information. You are a seeker of truth and a guardian of integrity. Your soul cannot tolerate games or manipulation. When you sense dishonesty, something in you shuts down. You refuse to invest where the truth is not present. This emotional intelligence is rare. It is sacred. It is the very reason some are drawn to you with admiration, while others try to distance themselves out of fear. Aquarius sees the soul, and souls do not like being seen unless they are ready to be free. There is a certain fire inside Aquarius that refuses to kneel. It refuses to surrender its identity for acceptance. It refuses to follow the crowd just because everyone else is doing it. Aquarius does not rebel for attention. Aquarius rebels because the soul knows when something is wrong, restricted, or suffocating. That refusal to be controlled is one of the greatest sources of discomfort you create in others. People who thrive on power or manipulation simply cannot handle someone who is spiritually sovereign. In a world where many seek approval, Aquarius seeks truth. In a society trained to follow orders without question, you ask why. You ask what purpose this rule serves. You ask if the system still makes sense, or if it has become a cage decorated with the illusion of safety. Your mind refuses to accept anything that limits the evolution of the soul. And when you reject control, you expose how controlled others actually are. Some individuals want relationships where they decide the narrative. They want friendships where they hold the emotional remote. They want authority where their voice is the only one that matters. Aquarius steps into that dynamic and says no, not through a dramatic fight, not through shouting or confrontation, but through something much more powerful. You simply walk away from what violates your integrity. Your independence is spiritual, emotional, and intellectual. Nobody can force you to stay where the energy is wrong. Nobody can buy your silence with attention or affection. You do not bend your values to please someone. You do not sacrifice your essence to maintain a toxic connection. When something attempts to control your spirit, you disconnect without warning. And that scares people who thought they owned your loyalty. You are loyal, yes, but your loyalty is not blind. It is not easily bought. It is not for sale. You give loyalty only to what is real, only to what honors your freedom, only to what respects your individuality. You can care deeply about someone and still refuse to obey demands that go against your truth. This is what outsiders cannot understand. You are not cold. You are conscious. People often confuse control with love. They believe that closeness means possession. Aquarius knows that love should never feel like prison walls. Love should feel like open air. Trust should feel like wide skies. Connection should expand both souls, not shrink one to fit the other. You show that by example, which challenges old and unhealthy relationship patterns around you. Your inner compass always points toward freedom. That does not mean you avoid commitment. It means you avoid chains. It means you avoid environments that stop growth. It means you avoid relationships where you are expected to trade your authenticity for someone else's comfort. And because you live by this truth, others sometimes label you difficult or unpredictable, when the truth is, you are simply awake. You came to this life with a mission to transform and elevate. For that mission, you needed a soul that could not be tamed, a spirit that could not be domesticated, a heart that values freedom more than validation. Aquarius is the reminder that control is the enemy of the soul, and the soul did not come here to serve the ego of others. It came here to fly. There is a quiet strength in Aquarius that the world often misinterprets. When emotions rise, you do not collapse under them. You do not lose yourself inside someone else's storm. You know how to step back and breathe. You know how to return to center. For some, this looks like distance. For others, it looks like indifference. But in reality, it is emotional maturity. It is spiritual grounding. It is the ability to hold yourself without needing anyone to rescue you. Many individuals are taught that love must be desperate and attachment must be proof of loyalty. They believe that if they do not cling, they will be forgotten. They believe that if someone takes space, it means the feeling is gone. Aquarius does not operate this way. You understand that love without freedom is not love at all. You know that a bond is strongest when both souls can breathe, when both hearts are allowed to exist fully and not melt into each other until identity disappears. You are not afraid to be alone. This is one of your greatest gifts. Yet it is also one of the most misunderstood qualities about you. When life gets heavy, some people panic and look for someone to anchor them. You look for clarity within yourself. You look for silence instead of noise. You look for truth instead of distraction. That calm presence in the middle of chaos can make others feel insecure because they expect drama where there is peace. People often mistake emotional restraint for emotional emptiness. They assume that if you do not display your feelings openly, you must not feel them deeply. But Aquarius experiences everything with intensity. You simply do not let emotion control your decisions or override your logic. You believe feelings are valid, but not every feeling deserves a reaction. You choose when to share and who has earned the intimacy of your inner world. You protect your heart silently. You do not build walls out of fear. You build boundaries out of wisdom. You know exactly who deserves a seat at your table and who must remain outside the gates of your vulnerability. If someone proves disloyal or chaotic, you detach in a quiet second, not because you are cold, but because you value peace more than chaos. Your detachment is not rejection, it is self-respect. What confuses others most is how you can love without losing yourself, how you can support without suffocating, how you can care without needing constant reassurance. You do not chase what is real. You trust that what is real remains. Many people have never known love that does not demand ownership. Your presence challenges them to understand a higher form of emotional connection. Your heart beats on a universal frequency. You feel humanity as a whole more than you feel the intensity of one dramatic relationship. You carry love for the world, not just for one person. That level of emotional intelligence is intimidating for anyone who depends on control to feel secure. They do not know how to love freely. They only know how to love tightly. Aquarius teaches that love is not meant to imprison. Love is meant to expand. When you step away to recharge, it is not abandonment, it is alignment. When you take space, it is not disinterest, It is healing. When you say nothing, it is not numbness. It is wisdom. You show others how to love without chains, how to feel without fear, and how to connect without losing oneself. And for those who have not yet learned to hold their own heart, that can be a frightening lesson. There is something magnetic about Aquarius. You walk into a space and the atmosphere shifts. You do not have to speak loudly. You do not have to demand attention. You carry an energy that cannot be ignored. That natural presence awakens curiosity in some people, but in others, it awakens insecurity. Without saying a single word, you remind them of everything they feel they are not, and that uncomfortable reflection can spark jealousy, comparison, and silent resentment. Aquarius does not chase validation. You do not measure your value by applause or approval. You can sit alone and still feel complete. You do not need to climb social ladders or beg for attention to know your worth. When someone sees you thriving without depending on approval, they start questioning why they cannot do the same. That questioning triggers discomfort. It triggers ego. It triggers the realization that the confidence they pretend to have is fragile. Some individuals want to be the smartest person in the room. They want to be the one with the ideas, the innovation, the bold thinking. Then Aquarius enters with perspectives nobody considered, with knowledge that seems to come from a higher place, and suddenly their superiority feels threatened. You never compete, yet your originality challenges those who rely on being the center of attention. The moment they sense your brilliance, their insecurity starts to tremble. Aquarius is effortlessly authentic. You do not try to fit in, you do not try to impress, you just are. And people can feel when someone is comfortable in their own identity. That level of authenticity forces others to see where they have betrayed themselves to please society or follow trends. Your freedom highlights their limitations. Your individuality exposes where they have chosen conformity over courage. There are people who build their identity on what others think of them. They survive on approval. They climb through social hierarchies as if status is the same as self-worth. When they stand next to Aquarius, they realize they have built their confidence on shaky foundations. Because your confidence does not come from the outside world, it comes from alignment within. It comes from the truth you hold. It comes from knowing you answer to a higher calling than popularity. Even your silence can be intimidating. You observe more than you express. You do not reveal your plans until they are already unfolding. That quiet strength makes others nervous because they cannot predict what you will do next. People fear what they cannot understand, and you are not meant to be understood easily. You are meant to be experienced, layer by layer, soul by soul, revelation by revelation. Sometimes people treat you strangely and you wonder why. Why do they get uncomfortable around you? Why do they act competitive when you did not invite a rivalry? Why do they assume you think you are better? The truth is simpler. You trigger a part of them that feels insecure, and instead of healing that part, they decide to blame your presence for awakening it. They defend their ego instead of expanding their consciousness. Aquarius does not try to shine. You shine because your soul refuses to dim itself. You shine because you came into this life carrying the light of truth, the spark of innovation, and the courage of authenticity. Your very existence inspires growth, and not everyone is ready to grow. Aquarius has a mind that stretches farther than the horizon. While others are busy reacting to what is happening right now, you are already imagining what can happen next year or even decades from now. You think in terms of evolution, progress, and potential. You are not interested in repeating the same patterns just because they feel familiar. Your soul always asks the question, what is possible beyond this moment? This visionary way of thinking can be intimidating for people who cling to routine and fear anything that changes the status quo. You see the bigger picture. You see how small decisions become long-term reality. You understand the way society shapes individuals and how individuals shape the world. You think about future generations. You think about the impact of choices. This level of awareness is extremely rare. So when you introduce a new idea or propose a different solution, many people cannot follow your reasoning. They only see what exists now. They do not yet see what could exist. They laugh at the dream because they lack the imagination to recognize it as a blueprint. Some will resist your ideas because they benefit from the old system. Some will resist because they are afraid of losing their comfort zone. But Aquarius does not come to maintain comfort. Aquarius comes to expand possibility. You are the bridge between what is and what could be, and bridges often get walked on before they are appreciated. Your brilliance is noticed only after time has proven you were right all along. You carry the frequency of innovation, and innovation always arrives before acceptance. Aquarius has a powerful effect on people without needing to say a word. You have a presence that requires truth. It requires honesty. It requires realness. You cannot stand plastic personalities or conversations that feel empty of soul. You crave depth in a world that glorifies the superficial. And because you refuse to engage in fake behavior, it becomes uncomfortable for those who survive through pretending. Some individuals live behind roles, trying to impress or trying to hide. When they meet Aquarius, they realize their masks do not work anymore. Something about your presence exposes what is artificial. Your soul does not resonate with lies or manipulation. So when someone approaches you with a false version of themselves, you pull away almost instantly, not out of cruelty, but out of spiritual necessity. Your energy acts like a filter that rejects anything that is not aligned. Authenticity is your native language. You speak truth even when your voice is quiet. You express yourself with honesty, whether people like it or not. This can make others uncomfortable because they are used to adjusting themselves to please everyone around them. You, on the other hand, refuse to shrink or bend your identity for acceptance, and that inspires some while threatening others. People with hidden intentions become uneasy around you. They know you will sense the lie even if they never speak it. They know you can read the soul even when the mouth performs beautifully. You encourage others to rise to their best self simply by existing. You invite them to drop their armor. You encourage vulnerability with your presence. But if they refuse to show their true self, they cannot stay close to you for long. Aquarius is the cleansing wind. Aquarius is the clear mirror. Aquarius is the truth that comes before transformation. You elevate the energy of every room you enter. Some will rise with you. Others will try to push you away because they fear what rising requires. But the fact remains, you came into this world to raise frequency, and authenticity is the first step toward evolution. There is something profoundly sacred about the Aquarius journey. It is not the easy path. It is not the popular path. It is the soul path. You did not come into this lifetime to blend into the background or to become a copy of what already exists. You came to disrupt stagnation. You came to inspire curiosity. You came to challenge beliefs that have been held for generations without questioning. And even when others do not understand you, even when they resist your ideas, even when they judge your silence or misread your independence, something deep inside them recognizes the truth of who you are. You may not always feel seen. You may not always feel understood. You may spend seasons walking alone because your vibration does not match the frequency of superficiality or illusion. But loneliness for Aquarius is not emptiness. It is refinement. It is alignment. It is the space where your spirit reorganizes itself, where your intuition grows sharper, and where your purpose grows clearer. Every moment of isolation has been preparation. Every moment of misunderstanding has been initiation. Every challenge has been shaping you into someone who leads without demanding power and influences without forcing control. You are not meant to follow trends. You are meant to start them. You are not here to seek permission. You are here to rewrite the rules. You do not need validation to exist. You were born valid. You were born different because the world needed different. The world needed someone who could see beyond the present moment. Someone who could imagine what humanity could become, rather than what it has been. Someone who could speak truth even when silence would be easier. When others look at you and feel discomfort, remember this: their reaction has nothing to do with your worth, and everything to do with their fear of their own potential. You are not intimidating. You are awakening. You are not cold. You are intentional. You are not distant. You are discerning. You are not detached from emotion. You are simply unwilling to drown in what is superficial or meaningless. You carry the spirit of the innovator, the visionary, the thinker, the reformer, the future builder. Throughout history, every great change has begun with a soul who saw beyond the present. And Aquarius, that is you. The world will catch up. The world will eventually understand. But until then, do not shrink yourself to be digestible. Do not silence your voice to avoid discomfort. Do not dim your brilliance to make others feel safe. Your authenticity is your gift. Your independence is your strength. Your difference is your power. Take a breath and let this truth settle into your bones. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are not too strange, too quiet, too bold, or too much. You are exactly what you were meant to be. A messenger of tomorrow, a keeper of truth, a soul that refuses to sleep through a lifetime that is meant to be lived awake. Even if the world misunderstands you today, one day they will look back and realize you were the one who saw clearly while everyone else was looking through fog. So stand tall in who you are. Honor the sacred rhythm of your soul. Trust your intuition. Walk your own path without apology. Because Aquarius, the universe did not create you to repeat the world. It created you to reinvent it. If this message resonated with you deeply, let it sit in your heart like a quiet flame. And when you are ready, explore more of this journey. Continue awakening. Continue evolving. Continue remembering who you truly are at your core. Thank you for sharing this moment, this frequency, and this truth. When you feel called, stay with this channel. Explore the teachings and expand your spirit even further. There are many more messages waiting for you. Watch another video on this channel and keep ascending.